Test, test. Hey, I'm just going to check the microphone and see if they're able to hear us. Hey, good evening, everybody. Let me know if you're able to hear me in the Great Hall. Excellent. Online, Dolores, are you able to hear us? Okay. Excellent. Thank you so much. It's wonderful seeing you. You guys ready? Good evening, everybody. I call to order the Select Board meeting of Wednesday, February 18th, 2026. We have a quorum of the Select Board present. Present in the hall are members Mr. Gito, Vice Chair Roberts, Mr. Carrera, Mr. McCrisky, and myself. If you are able, please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. Our first order of business tonight is the swearing in of a few new police officers. I'm going to, it's okay, call our Chief McNamara up.
Good evening. Appreciate you giving us the time, Mr. Chair, and the opportunity to introduce our newest officers that have been sworn in over the last month here in the town of Stoughton. I know we've been doing this quite often over the last year. That just goes to show the success that we've had in our town with the new process of hiring and our new test. And tonight, two of the three that we're going to introduce tonight are the first two that came from the new Stoughton Police entrance exam this evening. So without further ado, they've embarked on this incredible career that they have just begun in law enforcement. The journey started with an entrance exam that was taken in April of 2025 at the Council on Aging. We utilized that building to proctor the exam. And then it moved on to a fitness exam for an assessment and evaluation for those that passed the written exam, and then a intense orientation, background investigation, and then medical, physical exams that they had to pass, all before they even entered the first day of the academy. So then they had the 26 weeks of an academy, which they took extensive classes in their training and preparation to become full-time police officers. The three that are going to be introduced tonight is Officer Estrada. He went to the Randolph Police Academy. Officer Doolin and Doucette both went to the Marlborough Police Academy. So I'd just like to talk a little bit about all three of them and their path before they got to the town of Stoughton and what they bring to the table as officers for our community. Officer Oscar Estrada was officially sworn in January 20th after completing the Randolph 22nd recruit officer class. Officer Estrada was born in Columbia, where he immigrated to Florida in 2008. He graduated from Northport High School in 2014. He earned a Bachelor of Science degree in Business Management from Boston College in 2018. He was a high school and a collegiate soccer player. During his background investigation, his previous employer reported to our background investigator that he was an exemplary employee, a team player that could be relied upon at any turn. And I'd like to ask Officer Estrada to step up, and I'll introduce the next few officers. The next two officers, Officer Doolin and Officer Doucette, they both went to the academy together in Marlborough. They were sworn in and graduated from the first recruit officer class from Marlborough on January 29th, and were officially sworn in the next day on the 30th by our town clerk. Officer Kyle Doolin is a lifelong resident of the town of Stoughton. He graduated from Stoughton High School, went to Curry College. where he attained a bachelor's degree in criminal justice and a minor in psychology and sociology. Officer Doolin was also a high school athlete and a collegiate athlete in baseball. During his summers, in order to make some extra cash, he worked at our Public Works Department, picking up, doing some as summer help. And we got to see the beginning of his character, and he was given a great recommendation from our superintendent from Public Works, Paul Jaffoon. In his application, in the background investigation, we asked them, each candidate, to write a paragraph, a handwritten paragraph, so there's no AI, there's no spell check, there's no opportunities for someone else to write it. They do it right there in front of their background investigator. I'd like to read what Kyle wrote. It would be a true honor to protect and serve the Stoughton community, the community that helped shape who I am. I'd like to introduce Kyle Doolin. And our third officer is Officer Nicholas Doucette, being introduced tonight again, graduated from the Marlborough Police Academy on January 29th and was officially sworn in January 30th. Graduated from Silver Lake High School in 2014, served in the U.S. Army as a direct fire infantryman, where he received numerous commendations during his service to our country. He earned a Bachelor of Science degree from Massachusetts Maritime and graduated December of 2024. He comes to the town of Stoughton from Kingston, and he has a family that has dedicated to public service and law enforcement. And I personally spoke to his boss because I recognized the name of the company that he used to work for, and I spoke to him maybe because that person's dad used to work for my family, and he told me that he is the best employee that he's ever had. And he would hate to see him go, but he knew he wanted to be a police officer. And he was happy to see him fulfill his dream to become a police officer. So I introduce Nicholas Doucette as our third officer tonight to the Stoughton community. So, and I asked our town clerk.
I state your name.
I, Nicholas Doucette,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully and impartially
that I will faithfully and impartially
discharge and perform
all
the duties incumbent upon me
all the duties incumbent upon me
as a police officer for the town of Stoughton.
as a police officer for the town of Stoughton.
I will bear true faith and allegiance to
I will bear true faith and allegiance to
and will uphold and defend
and will uphold and defend
the Constitution of the United States of America
the Constitution of the United States of
and
America
the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts.
and the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts.
I will obey and be bound
I will obey and be bound
by such rules and regulations
by such rules and regulations
as are now or may be established by the town of Stoughton
established by the town of Stoughton
and its police department.
and its police department.
I state,
I, Nicholas Doucette,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will never betray my badge,
that I will never betray my badge,
my integrity,
my integrity,
my character,
my
or
character,
the public trust.
or the public trust.
I will always have the courage
I will always have the courage
to hold myself
to hold myself
and others
and others
accountable for our actions.
accountable for our actions.
I will uphold the Constitution,
I will uphold the
my
Constitution,
community,
my community,
and the Stoughton Police Department.
and the Stoughton Police Department.
So help me God.
So help me God.
I state your name.
I, Nicholas Doucette,
Hereby accept
hereby accept
the position of police officer for the town of Stoughton.
the position of police officer for the town of Stoughton.
Congratulations again.
Sir, if we could just finish the pinning of the badge first.
Yep.
So I just asked the family and friends that are going to pin the badge to come on up and pin their badge. Yes, sir.
Okay, everybody. I appreciate your time here. The next item on our agenda is citizens' comments. Ms. Walsh.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Cynthia Walsh, 1096 Park Street. And I will try to be as civil as possible. I arrived tonight by Dial-A-Bat because I'm disabled to find that the ramp was closed off. I've been told it's because of falling ice. So there's two solutions to that. One is when there's ice on the roof, get someone up there to get it off. The other solution is more long-term. We're going to be redoing the front and the side of Town Hall. Perhaps perhaps some sort of canopy or some sort of device so that the ice won't fall on people using the ramp? I mean, other than put Cynthia is unwelcome at town hall in bright lights on the front, I can't imagine a worse greeting than not being able to use the ramp. But before tonight, my citizen comment was going to be on the senior center. Now, some bright light decided that when you build a senior center, the majority of the people that come there will be women. And why don't we just have one handicap stall for women? And maybe that would work. But the problem was, for at least a solid week, it was out of order. And we had a Valentine party. I wasn't the only person there using some sort of mobility device to find that when you get in the ladies' room, there's no room. I was told, well, we're waiting for a part. Give me a break. Most of us could get whatever pot they needed from Amazon, and I know the town has an Amazon account. To have the only handicap stall out of service, I know for a fact, for 7 days. Now, it may have been longer. I wasn't there before and after. There has to be somebody somewhere who cares about those of us who are disabled. We can't be putting up cones and out of order signs. If there's a problem, fix it.
Thank you very much for your comments. And Mr. Town Manager. Sure.
Cynthia, I'd like to shed some light on the ramp issue. But before I do that, if something like that goes wrong, I'm hearing about this for the first time, and that's my problem. If something like that goes wrong where a stall is shut down for more than a few hours, I'd always appreciate a call, and I'll take care of that. But the reason the ramp was shut down today is we had the roof inspected yesterday for falling ice, clear as green. There wasn't even snow on the roof. But this afternoon, a block of ice came down in a gully that goes like this from the roof and totaled a car right next to the front entrance. And so I made the decision to shut the ramp down because you can't see any ice from the ground up on that roof. But if somebody were going down that ramp and that same block of ice hit the person, they'd be dead. So I made the decision to shut it down for that reason. If I could see the roof, that there was ice up there, that's one thing. The roof is completely clear. The ice hides in the soffit that comes down in a V like this. So I couldn't take the chance that there was more ice up there that we can't see. And so that's why we shut the ramp down. And I just wanted to shed some light on that. Now, having said that, we're very, very sensitive to people with disabilities. And so perhaps hindsight being 2020, either I or somebody should have been out there to help you up those stairs or come in the side door. We'll keep that in mind next time, I assure you. Okay, but we'll help you in any door you come in. We could drive you around to the back door, which is at the ground level, and take the elevator up. So you and I need to communicate so I can help you with that in the future. Thank you, Cynthia, for bringing it to our attention.
Thank you very much. Are there any further citizen comments? Yes.
Hello. Thank you for letting us talk. Sorry. I'm Christine Iacobucci, here on behalf of the library. I'm also a Stoughton resident.
I'm April Melito. I'm here on behalf of the DPW.
So we're here tonight to announce an exciting event that we're partnering on, the DPW and the library, called a Fix-It Clinic. And it's going to be Saturday, April 25th from 10 to 1 at the library. And
Excuse me, Christine, do you include plumbing in that?
it depends. Are you going to volunteer? Because part of what we're here for is for fixers. So any volunteers would be great. I'll give you the QR code to register. But for those of you at home who aren't familiar with the Fix It Clinic, it's what we hope to be a large community event with neighbors helping neighbors, fixing things such as small appliances, electronics, clothes to mend. We also have somebody who volunteered to fix jewelry. So really, we're open to anything. And besides being a community building event, it's also in line with our goal to minimize waste going into the trash stream, which April can speak to more because that's her expertise, not mine.
So we're trying to enforce the reduce, reuse, recycle, all the time. And one of the ways to do that is to have people fix items instead of throwing them away and buying a new one. So we figured this is a well-known project that's countrywide. They do them all the time. So we're joining with the Fix It Clinic to learn how to do this and get it started here in Stoughton. And so people can bring their items and have other people help them. So Stoughton, community members helping Stoughton community members fix their items and keep them from going in the trash and going forward. And we also can start to earn more grant money from Mass DEP by having these events. So it's a win-win all around.
And I just wanted to say that people don't need to be experts to be, to volunteer to be a fixer. It's really much more about coaching and really coaching the Fix It process, right? Like it may be as simple as showing somebody how to go on YouTube to learn how to fix, something. So again, for the residents at home and people here, really any skill is helpful, and we would love for you to join us. We will, there's flyers posted around with QR codes to register, and then for any additional information, you can reach out to April at the DPW or myself. I'm Christine Iacobucci. There's more than one Christine at the library. So if you need more information, please reach out.
And we also have flyers with us if it's okay with the board that we leave some. Okay. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for doing this. I've gone on YouTube to discover how to fix dryers, snow blowers. My favorite was a furnace. Discovered how to install a thermocouple into a furnace, which is not something I thought I would ever be able to do, but it turns out to be pretty simple. And so yeah, there's sometimes you're faced with a big bill like a furnace going up. You think it's pretty scary, but it's $8 in parts, and it just knowing what to screw in, you're good to go.
Right.
So thanks for doing this.
Yeah, and please don't bring your furnace. You have to carry in any item you want fixed that day, just as a, to preface that.
Oh, yeah, don't come to me to fix your furnace. I'm not sure.
Exactly. All right, thank you for your time.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
just to put something in perspective, and April knows this, the recent study we did on solid waste that led to our solid waste plan indicated with data from DEP that Stoughton in 2024 spent more than $650,000 on material that was put in the solid waste stream that could have either been reused or recycled. Over $650,000. So this program not only is the right thing to do, it's a huge money saver for the town. Thank you for doing it.
Thank you.
Any additional citizen comments? Seeing none, I'll move on to the next order of business, select board comments. We'll start from the right. Mr. McCrisky.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. How's this? I don't know. People tell me when it's way away, they can hear me talking on it, so I don't know. But bringing some sad news. We've lost just in the last month 2 members of our firefighting family in the town of Stoughton. Carol Melendi, wife of fallen firefighter Victor Melendi, passed away on February 6th. Longtime resident died unexpectedly at the Boston Medical Center South. Surrounded by her family, she was the wife of the late Victor Melendi, Stoughton Fire Department, born in Boston. Carol is the daughter of the late Victor and Helen Kerwin Gerando. She was raised in Billerica, graduated in Billerica High School, class of 1967. Carol resided in Stoughton for over 60 years. She loved being a mom to her 3 children. She was a member of the Stoughton Lions Club, where she met some of the most kind and caring friends. Her greatest joy was spending time with her family, especially her grandchildren, who were affectionately known as Mimi. Carol is survived by her children, Christopher J. Melendi, his wife Catherine of Middleborough, Lisa Terrell, and her husband Daniel, and Kerry Moore and her husband Dusty, all of Norton, as well as her grandchildren that go on lengthy. We also have another very, very well-known and former selectman, John Stretch Fallon, who died on the 11th of this month at the age of 80, longtime resident of Stoughton, and Stretch died unexpectedly at home. He was born in Boston, the son of the late John Howie and Mary McDonald Fallon. Stretch was raised in Dorchester and Stoughton and graduated from Stoughton High, class of 1963. He attended Stonehill College in Easton and graduated from the Harvard University Union Trade School. Stretch was a proud veteran of the United States Marine Corps and served during the Vietnam era, being honorably discharged at the rank of sergeant. Stretch was the brother of Mary Kelly, who was predeceased in death by her brother, Charles Fallon, of Stoughton Fire Department as well, and surviving his wife, Judith and Ann Fallon Swanson. Although he had numerous nieces and nephews and great nieces and nephews, he had a close relationship with his 5 nephews, Charlie Fallon, member of our DPW, Sean Fallon, Canton Fire Department, Jerome Fallon, Mark Kelly, and Chad Kelly. Stretch was a firefighter with the town of Stoughton for 37 years before retiring in 2009. He was also the legislative agent for the Professional Firefighters of Massachusetts for 20 years and an integral part of passing legislation during his tenure. After his retirement from Stoughton Fire Department, he worked for the National Legions of Government Employees for 10 years. Stretch was a member of the VFW Post 1645 and American Legion Post 89 and AMVETS Post 1977, all in Stoughton. The American Legion 24 in Canton, Randolph Elks in 2013. He was a lifetime member of the McKeon AMVETS of Post 146 in Dorchester and a longtime member of the Canton Town Club. He was a former member of the Greater Boston Firefighters, Pipes and Drums as well. And again, Stretch Fallon did 3 years as a member of the Stoughton Select Board from 95 to 98. I know that because he beat me on my reelection after my first campaign. But Stretch and I remained great friends, and there was always that little ribbing that I would get once in a while. Don't forget, I beat you, and I used to mow Stretch's lawn when I was a kid. And as a kid, he was a great influence on me and a great guy. Definitely a good man to the people of Stoughton, his family, and to the citizens he served. So with those two being read, I would ask you to join me in a moment of silence for the memory of Stretch Fallon and Carol Melendi. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. McCrisky. Mr. Carrera, do you have any comments? Nothing today. Vice Chair Roberts.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. To everyone, we practice democracy all year long. It's easy to cast a ballot when the sun is out and the skies are clear, but showing up on a cold winter day takes real commitment. Respect to everyone who braved the weather yesterday. Your participation strengthens the democratic process, no matter who you supported. Be well, Stoughton. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Mr. Gito.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I also served with Stretch. He was a good guy, enjoyable to be with, and he was a person who really was connected to the community. He was a lot of fun to be with. On a different note, I know we're going to talk about or approve the housing production plan later this evening, probably on a consent agenda vote. And that seems to be a fine thing to do. But I think it's important that we read that plan, because there are a lot of things in there that are very important, some of which are very troubling. We have an increasing population of people who have a hard time making it in this world. This average salary for many people is quite low. The educational level of people in town has gone down a lot compared to the state and compared to Norfolk County especially. Those things mean that it's going to be harder for people to pay for the government that we are expecting. We need to consider that in light of the actions that we take and in light of the changing economic environment in the country. I mentioned last time that we met that I was concerned with the special town meeting within the annual town meeting, that we have about $2 million worth of actions that we expect to be taken in the special town meeting that ordinarily would be in the annual town meeting. I think we have to look very closely at that, at our request. That is going to put an added burden on the taxpayers of the town. It will become part of the budget of the town moving forward. At the same time that we have expectations for having a new police station, and there's going to be money that is going to have to be raised probably from Prop 2.5 debt exclusion, at a time when we see other things going on within the town, within the community, within the people in the town. I just urge us to think very carefully about this. And for the people who are running for office, who are going to be taking seats on this board in the future, to look closely at that report and others as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I have no comments this evening. Mr. Town Manager, do you have any comments? Thank you so much. So the next item on our agenda is a public hearing to consider removal, resignation of 2 members of the 300th Anniversary Committee, and to consider appointment of new members to fill vacated seats. So I'm just going to move through this public hearing myself, answer a couple of questions along the way. But I'll start with a motion to open the public hearing.
So made, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, made by Vice Chair Roberts, seconded by Mr. Carrera. So in this public hearing, we have a couple of members who of the 300 committee who signed up to join and to help out, but ultimately were no longer able to serve, but they did not formally resign. That's the purpose of this. We sent 2 letters out. One was to Scott Santos and one was to Joanne Callahan. Are either of those people present or online? Seeing that they're not, I'll read the letter. So it says, please be advised that on Wednesday, February 18th, 2026, the Select Board will hold a public hearing to consider whether to rescind your appointment as a member of the 300th Anniversary Committee. If you fail to appear and participate, you'll be deemed to have resigned. If you appear, the Select Board may still rescind your appointment if it determines that there's cause to do so. Alternatively, should you wish to resign your position, you may do so by filing a written notice of same with the town clerk's office. Signed, Town of Stoughton Select Board, Steve Cavey. And as I understand it, we have not received any notice from either of those members. And so for that reason, as the note says, we can deem that they have resigned by not appearing. And I suppose we should just follow up with a vote recognizing that the resignation of Scott Santos and Joanne Callahan from the 300th Anniversary Committee. Is there a motion to recognize the resignation?
So made.
Made by Scott Carrera. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Seconded by Vice Chair Roberts. Okay, so probably should have closed the public hearing before doing that. I apologize. Yeah, we'll ask, is there anybody in the public who has comment? Yes, Ms. Walsh. A matter of practice through the public hearings.
Cynthia Walsh, I've been a charter member of the 300th Committee.
Yeah.
I want to say both the individuals initially were extremely eager and participated fully. Then interest waned, and I've even spoken to one of them and asked her to officially resign. So I thank you for making this, taking this action. And I want to say that when they were present, and it's just that the committee took a different approach to the 300th anniversary than either of them were comfortable with. And I am thrilled to see later on in your agenda that two people that have been serving as members in all but voting ability have applied for these two vacancies, because 10 people is very few people, 10 of us, to do a job that's a big job. And we're doing our best, and these two individuals have been helping us do that job. Thank you.
Absolutely, thank you. And this is no, I don't even see this as any reflection on the members. We all get busy, and I appreciate their willingness to serve. But are there any other public comments? Seeing none, is there a motion to close the public hearing?
So made.
Second.
Made by Scott Carrera, seconded by Vice Chair Roberts. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That's unanimous. And so just to bring back the motion to recognize the resignation of Scott Santos and Joanne Callahan, is there a motion to recognize those resignations?
I actually already made it. Deborah seconded. We can just vote.
You got it. Made by Scott Carrera, seconded by Deborah Roberts. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That's unanimous. Those two seats are now vacated. And we'll be coming around to the filling of those in a moment. But before we do, we're going to move on to item 7, which is the reaffirmation. To reaffirm the establishment of a committee known as the Stoughton Cultural Council in accordance with General Law, Chapter 10, Section 58, and adopt a certificate of vote memorializing same. So the reason for this is we've had this cultural council for a good amount of time, but as I recall, when looking to see how many members were voted to be on the committee, there wasn't a clear record of the committee when it was established, how many members should be on it. And since we couldn't find a document to give us that guidance, we are using what our recollections of what it is, and we are memorializing that in a motion to establish this so that in the future, if someone has to find it, they can find a clear record of the role and powers of this board. Most of the information is in the documentation. I won't read it, but the motion itself would be, if someone chooses to make it, I hereby move the select board establish and/or reaffirm the establishment of a committee known as the Stoughton Cultural Council, known as the Council, in accordance with General Law, Chapter 10, Section 58, and to delegate the authority, obligations, and responsibilities set forth below to said council. And then there's a document that lays out their powers and their organization. Is there a motion? Do you want to make a motion first, or do you want to talk about that? Feel free. If there's something you'd like to add, by all means. Yeah, of course.
To you, Mr. Chairman, is there a mission statement at all that goes with this council? What it's, I try to read through here and see what it was. It was kind of empty. You know what I mean?
Sure. So I'll read the powers and purpose, which would be, their primary charge. The council shall have the powers set forth in Chapter 10, General Law, Chapter 10, Section 58, and any powers established by the town charter, bylaws, or town meeting vote. The council shall adhere to any and all requirements of the open meeting law and public records law. The council may adopt rules, regulations, guidelines consistent with its powers, but the failure to adopt such rules, regulations, or guidelines shall not invalidate any actions taken by the council. So I'm not aware of town meeting having any rules related to the cultural council. However, the powers set forth in General Law, Chapter 10, Section 58, I think outline the general charge. I could pull up that statute. We do have somebody who might be more familiar with the history. Ms. Walsh?
Cynthia Walsh, 1096 Park Street. I urge you to vote in the affirmative for this. Every year, thousands of dollars are made available to Stoughton for cultural events from the lottery funds. If we don't have a cultural council, those funds will go elsewhere. I know in the past, they've paid for programs at the senior center and in our school system. And it would be foolish of us to let money that is our due to spend on cultural events just not come to us. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes. Mr. Gio?
there is about $20,000 that the town received from the state this past year for 2026. I believe that Teresa Tapper got that money for the town. And there is a list of people who are or were members of the Cultural Council on our website. The dates of their end of their terms seems to have passed, but I don't know whether or not they're still meeting. It seems as though there have been meetings that the Cultural Council has had. So I don't know how we're going to integrate this piece here in with what we have been doing. I mean, and I don't know whether or not it should be part of our town code or just who are they reporting to? Are they reporting to us or to whom? I don't know the answer to that. So
We
I'm not
appoint the members,
suggesting
but they don't
it's a
report.
bad idea. Don't get me wrong. I just have some
That's why I asked the question I asked, because I know some of the years that I put in prior, we always put people on the cultural council.
right.
And at first I never saw any end dates for anything. I thought that you're on there. And then they throw you in a hole if you passed away. But I mean, there was really never anything set that said what the money was for. I thought maybe it would go to the library and help with stuff there. That's cultural. The library has plenty of culture. And then, the schools, they have a lot of stuff that gets done and they get money for it. So I didn't know what this was. And then when I saw it says it'll delegate authority, and then it says reaffirm, and when it comes to the charter, I'm like, now are they gonna go by us? There'll be no open hearings. They're just gonna start making rules and laws and not coming through here. That's the only questions I had, because any council that it says may adopt rules and regulations or guidelines, and then it says, well, if they don't, then it won't invalidate anything they do. Well, that's ridiculous. There's rights and wrongs in the world, and if they do something wrong, it's okay. We just made a wrong. That doesn't seem right to me. That's why I'm not too quick to vote this in. I think it's something that's been in progress for a long time. And like Lou said, are there still people in it? We don't know. And then it says, we're setting their terms, and it says there won't be, you can't do any more than 2 terms, succession. Does that mean you can do like skip terms forever? I'll be in this year, but I won't be that year, and then just keep on going? Kind of the way, I hate to tell you, that's what the Charter Review did with the Finance Committee. It says you may not go any more than 9 consecutive years, so guess what? You do 5, you can start your next 9. It doesn't say you pick up the rest of the 4. You could be on there forever, the way that comes through. And that'll hold up at the Attorney General's office, because I checked into it. That was a bad move.
Mr. Coulter.
Mr. Chairman, a reading of the statute would probably be helpful, but I can give you some background on this. This was among one of the first issues I worked on when I arrived almost 3.5 years ago. I want to say before I make this comment that if it were not for Ms. Tapper, we would not have a cultural council right now. She's done an extraordinary job. She's the thread, the glue that has kept us together. But there have been members who have come in, come out, come in, come out with real irregularity and without any regard to terms or interviews or attendance at meetings. And again, Ms. Tapper's been the guiding light that's kept it going. The primary purpose of this, as regulated by statute, and Steve, perhaps you could read the pertinent section, is the State Mass Cultural Council provides funding each year to cities and towns to support, to run their cultural programs. The reason I got involved is I was at an event in another town, and there was an event that was paid for by the Stoughton Cultural Council, not a Stoughton event, another town event. So I made it my business 3 years ago to find out where the money's coming from, what the statute is, and who is running it. And it was without a chair lady or chairman for an extended period of time. And decisions on distribution of money were made by a small group of people. And I would say the majority of the money went to out-of-town events. So through Ms. Tapper and her efforts, we brought all the money back to Stoughton and said that, and Deborah, as our former chair, got deeply involved in this, in screening how the money's being distributed to Stoughton residents, Stoughton programs, which I'm pleased to say they are now being used for Stoughton programs. But we felt the need to reestablish and to codify, pursuant to Massachusetts state law, how they're to operate. And this board is the only board that can make the appointments to it. And Gilda has this now as part of our book for appointments. It'll be done on a regular basis. They'll get letters of expiring terms and openings. They'll be advertised. But for a long, long, long time, maybe as far back as a decade, it was done based upon custom and norms and informality. This is state money, so we've got to be very formal about it. And that's what this codification of state law is about, is us getting very serious about how the money is allowed to be used. I can name a half a dozen events in Stoughton in the past year that, maybe 3 or 4, that this money has been used for that are cultural events. So this is to get it back on track and to also thank Ms. Tapper for staying involved. Without her, we wouldn't get money and we wouldn't distribute money and we wouldn't have a cultural council. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Yeah, Vice Chair Roberts.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for the opportunity to speak on this. Years ago, I was a member of the Cultural Council, but let's fast forward to just recently. You're all right, or correct, that Teresa Tapper is a good leader, and what she and her committee would do is they go through a vetting process of who will be awarded the funds that are presented to the Cultural Council. It's a fair and unbiased process. And I have really close relation, well, arm's length, not me personally, but several committees that I participate with like different bands that come to town, art, music, programs. And it's a very well-run program under Teresa Tapper and her committee. So in summary, what they have been doing all along is what's in written form at this point in time. So it's really no different than what they have practiced all along. They're just putting it in writing, or we are just putting it in writing. And you're right, we are the ones that appoint members to this committee. And I would vote in favor of it, just to give it some structure.
Thank you very much. So we've kind of gone through the,
There's another hand raised.
yes. Of course.
I just wanted to say to Mr. Carrara's point, the library does definitely use the funds for programs. And in fact, we, I help coordinate an effort where each age group puts together a plan, and it's in October. We use the Cultural Council funds, so it's all bulked together. But I wanted to say, in regard to the process, I mean, it's a very formal grant, writing process. We have to prove, we already book the people beforehand, have them scheduled and what have you. But also what I've noticed under Teresa's guidance is at Stoughton Day, the past couple of years, the Cultural Council has had a table there, and they're soliciting residents to find out what types of programs they want. So I think that they're really, it's so beneficial, and we really are utilizing, as a resident and as a Stoughton employee. So I just wanted to add that really quickly.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, just a note on that, having worked for the state, the reason we need to formalize this is we will stop getting funding without the formal process. And the formal process involves officers that are selected, they're registered with the town clerk, they have an expiration date, they're notified when their term is up, this board convenes and interviews and appoints. I agree with Christine, the distribution of money goes through a very formal vetting process. They've done that very well because of Ms. Tapper. I didn't support, and the reason I got involved, the money is issued to the town of Stoughton. I just didn't believe at the time, I don't believe now, it should go to any programs outside of Stoughton.
Thank you. So on the current item, is there any interest in the motion to establish or reaffirm the establishment of this committee?
So made, Mr. Chairman.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, motion was made by Ms. Roberts, seconded by Ms. McCrisky. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay. The Cultural Council is, their establishment has been reaffirmed or established. Next item on our agenda is to consider candidates for appointment to a number of boards, including the Board of Registrars, Cultural Council, Library Trustees, Zoning Board of Appeals alternate, and the 300th Anniversary Committee. For a couple of these, we didn't receive any applications. I would ask, some information came to light yesterday that leads me to believe that there's been some turnover on the Republican Town Committee. They were sent notice to provide a list of potential candidates. I'm concerned that might not have ended up in the right hands, as whoever was making decisions there. So I think it might be appropriate for us. There is no applicant, but I think it might be appropriate to reach out to them again, just to give them an opportunity now that they've been reorganized, the opportunity to select an applicant or several. So we'll wait on that for them. There's no applications for the Cultural Council or for the Zoning Board of Appeals alternate. We have had a policy in the past of rolling applications. So if we receive an application, I will put it on a future agenda. But these were advertised and we received no applications. So if we receive any applications going forward, we will consider those as a board. The two that we have are the library trustees, one vacancy. We have Patricia Martin. Ms. Martin, are you here today? Hello. Would you mind joining us briefly? I know, we're friendly. We're friendly.
I know.
We do have your information. But yeah, this is the library is a special place, and it would be wonderful to get to know you a little bit, understand your background and your reason for your interest in this board, the board of trustees, if you wouldn't mind. So there's a button that you just have to press once and let go of, and it'll turn green, and we should be able to hear
It's
you.
green. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, I'm a longtime resident of Stoughton, avid reader, patron of the Stoughton Public Library and other libraries and other communities to which I've belonged. I'm an educator with the Stoughton Public Schools as a teacher, classroom teacher. I moved on from there to be an administrator in the city of Attleboro, all the while supporting literacy and hoping to be able to continue to do that work with the library as a trustee and to work with the other trustees in order to be able to have greater understanding of the work that's been done, the great work that's been done in Stoughton. Our library is strong, and I'd like to be a part of that.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions for the applicant? Mr. Gio, if you have any?
Oh, yes, I do. Thank you for applying for the job. It's very important. You know it's very important. It's been important. I think I've been on and off this board for 50 years now. The library is a terribly important part of the community, and it has evolved to do a number of different things. As times have changed, technology has changed, and I'm happy that you are applying for the position. I know you. My wife knows you better than I. But you are a very capable person. I hope that you do a good job. I hope you get approved.
Thank you very much, though.
I was going to recognize. Okay, Ms. Roberts.
Hello, Ms. Martin. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
When I read your application, just the passion about this work just kind of flowed through, just oozed through. When the time comes, I will nominate you.
Thank you very much. I
Thank you.
appreciate that.
Thank you so much. Mr. Carrera, any questions?
I more it's a statement.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
I couldn't ask any questions of Tricia. I've known her most of my life. Graduated with her sister. You couldn't ask for anybody to be a trustee or a caretaker of something this important. And I see you brought Mrs. Zabinski with you back there,
Yes.
whom my wife calls another name because she had her as a school teacher. So I'm so glad you put in, Tricia. I think it's great.
Thank you. Thank you for your support.
Mr. McCrisky.
One question. It won't interfere with your historical society time.
No, I will make sure that I attend to both fully.
We look at the historical society. I don't want to give her more to handle, So, but no, thank you. Thank you very much. Everything you're doing.
Mr. Chairman, Trish is also doing great work in the clerk's office.
Excellent. So is there, so thank you very much for stepping up in this very important role, and you be filling some very, very big shoes, as you probably know.
That I
And so
understand.
we very much appreciate your willingness to serve the town. Is there a nomination of Ms. Patricia Martin?
I will nominate Ms.
Okay, so
Patricia.
There's a nomination.
Second.
Perfect. The second's not required, but we've got now second and a third, I think, a fourth. So all in favor of appointing Patricia Martin to the role of the library trustee, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Welcome aboard, and thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, ma'am.
Point of information, if I may.
Yes, sir.
Although not a select board appointment, it's a town manager's appointment. There is an open position on the Board of Health, a very important position open on the Board of Health. We've been advertising it for 10 days. And we had one applicant, but that applicant has not turned in any paperwork. So the position is still open if anybody in the public is interested in an appointment to the Board of Health. Thank you for the time.
Thank you so much. So our next appointment, we have 2 vacant seats to the 300th Anniversary Committee. And we have 2 applicants, Lori Jakes and Fred Minsker. I guess we can go one at a time. Ms. Jakes, if you don't mind joining us up at the front.
Good evening.
Welcome aboard. So if you don't mind just giving us a brief, I know you've already done quite a bit of volunteer work. So if you don't mind just sharing with us your time with the work that you've done with the 300th Anniversary Committee and why you're interested in continuing on as a full voting member.
Sure. Again, Lori Jakes, 6 Harris Circle. I have been involved with the 300th Committee since the fall. I was actually at Stoughton Day, and I ran into the committee and had a conversation and thought it was something that I would be interested in getting involved in, as I care about the community, wanted to become more involved. And I'm an event planner by trade, so I thought this would be a perfect fit for me. So I came to a couple of the meetings, and I've been going to all of them ever since.
Thank you very much. Does anybody have any questions? Yeah, Ms. Roberts.
Hello, Ms. Jakes. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I see you at the meetings all the time. You are such a great contributor to this committee. When the time comes, I will nominate you to make it official. So thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Minsker, do you mind joining us? You can hang out if you'd like.
Hi, everybody.
It's great seeing you.
You too. Thank you.
So yeah, if you don't mind sharing with us your work on the 300th Anniversary Committee and why you're interested in continuing as a voting member.
Yep, I volunteered for the past, it's been about 5 or 6 months already, and took the ball and ran with the fundraising. Went door to door, parked in the center and walked around, and I think I sold about 180 banners. So that was just the beginning of it. And I just love the town. I just think that 300 is quite an accomplishment, you know? I mean, it's not every day a town turns 300. So like I said, I was born and raised here, so I grew up and have known all of you guys forever. So I just figured do something to give back to the community.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Any questions for Mr. Minsker? Seeing none, is there a motion?
Welcome aboard.
Is there a motion to make a nomination? Or is there, I should say,
Okay.
are there any nominations? I apologize.
So made.
For both
Second.
members?
Mr. Chairman, is the
Yes.
nomination for both together or one at a time?
Well, yeah, we can do both.
Thank you.
Okay, so both Lori Jakes and Fred Minsker have been nominated for the position. All in favor of appointment of Lori Jakes and Fred Minsker to the 300th Anniversary Committee, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you very much,
Thank
and
you.
and welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Fred's a prodigious fundraiser.
He got money out of you? That's a feat.
Fundraising? Oh, great. Hey.
Every time I see him, he asks for my lunch money.
So that's what's thinning you out, eh?
The final item on our agenda tonight is the consent agenda. We have 4 items. Item A, approval of open session minutes, meeting of January 20th, 2026 and January 29th, 2026. Item B, application for 4th of July parade, Stoughton Recreation Department on July 4th, 2026. Item C, Stoughton Logistics Sign License Agreement. Item D, Town of Stoughton Housing Production Plan, which we had met on previously, and we held off on a vote until today to give people an opportunity to ask any questions that they needed answered in order to vote on that. Is there a motion to pull any of these items?
Yes, but
I'm sorry, which one? 9A, okay. So we'll vote on the minutes separately.
Mr.
Promise.
Chairman, I would like to pull 9A, Tuesday, January 20th.
Okay. Anything else?
C and D.
C and D. So we're going to vote on each one of these separately. There's only one left. So we'll start off with the one that nobody pulled. Item B, an application for 4th of July parade, Stoughton Recreation Department on July 4th, 2026. Is there a motion to approve?
So made.
Second.
Okay, motion was made by Mr. Carrera, seconded by Vice Chair Roberts. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? B passes. Okay, next is item A, approval. I'm going to go on a limb here and say there might be changes people want to make to both of these separately. So we'll vote these separately. So right now there is a item, the approval of open session minutes from July 20th, 2026. That's what we'll consider right now. Are there any motions to either approve those or to amend them?
Amend for consideration.
Okay.
And through you, Mr. Chairman, to Mr. Carrera, if you could turn to page 3, toward the end of the page, the bottom third. It says, Mr. Carrera abstained from voting on item B. I just want that to be verified because I thought it was D.
Page 3.
B is alcoholic beverage. D were the dates. So if he's okay with it, then I am, but January 20th, Tuesday at 7 p.m. Page 3. You agree with that? Yeah. Right, I couldn't understand it either.
I abstained from the annual town election, I think it was.
That's right. That's what my recollection was. So if okay with Mr. Carrera, we would change that B as in boy to D as in David.
I'm just looking for, yeah, okay, got it. So the line reads, Mr. Carrera abstained from voting on item B as in Bravo. And so Mr. Carrera, do you confirm that it was D as in Delta?
It was D for
Okay.
the election, yeah.
Okay, so there is a motion. So there's a motion to amend the B as in Bravo into a D as in Delta. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, the minutes have been amended with that change. Yeah, of course. Yeah, that change has been amended. Go ahead. Okay, so this is at the very front of the select board comments. Mr. Gio thanks Cynthia for her comments and thanked the town manager and town staff for the fine work in picking up rubbish in front of town hall. And okay, so picking up rubbish in front of town hall to be amended to would you mind just saying it again out loud? Okay, she's got that note. Okay, so there's a motion to make an amendment to that section of the minutes. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, seconded by Vice Chair Roberts. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you very much. That has been amended as well. Any other changes to the minutes for the 20th? Okay. Is there a motion to approve the minutes from January 20th, 2026 as amended?
Second.
Okay, motion was made by Mr. Gito, seconded by Vice Chair Roberts. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Passes unanimously. Okay, next up is the January 29th, 2026 minutes. Are there any amendments to those minutes?
One. I'm going to abstain from voting on these. I wasn't here.
Okay, no
that
problem.
day.
So it works out that we separated it out. That's nice. So seeing no motions to amend, is there a motion to approve the minutes from January 29th, 2026?
So made.
Second.
Motion was made by Vice Chair Roberts, seconded by Mr. McCrisky. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Against? And any abstentions?
One.
One abstention. Okay,
So that's 401.
401. Next, Mr. Kerr pulled two items, C and D, so Charlie and Delta. The first is Stoughton Logistics Sign License Agreement.
Yeah. This thing keeps, this logistics park just keeps on giving, you know, every time you turn around, we got to give a lease or a permit or whatever because it's on town land. I thought we had got rid of all this problem. We didn't? I was hoping Mark would have been able to be here to
Yeah,
talk
Mark-
about this.
Mark is on vacation.
Yeah, I
and
know.
The reason they're asking for permission here is the most logical place to put it, the sign, is on town property. And according to Mark and Bill, who I asked to report in on this, it doesn't create any interference. It's the most logical place to put it, but to put it on town property requires the approval of the board. It would be a very seamless process if it were on town property, but it is. So it requires your
So
approval.
now I'm gonna play the devil's advocate here. I was present at a planning board meeting, and I watched them tell a established business that was trying to put up a sign on their property that they had to put a ton of landscaping in. So what I'd like to say here is the same thing. If they're gonna utilize the land, I want it landscaped. I don't want, trucks running it over or turning in, trailers turning in, or however it's gonna be. There's no design here that says they're gonna do anything for it. So if we're gonna lease it, I want to take care of it. It's
Sure.
only fair.
I'll certainly pass that on, Scott.
Mr. McCrisky?
Thank you, Mr.
Sorry,
Chair.
Mr. McCrisky?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Through you to my colleagues. We're all pretty aware since Park. Going up there, there's extensive planting program going on. And these are good-sized plants. I mean, I've been driving up there on a regular basis, just watching things. So I don't think it's going to be any problem, that if we say plant some things there, and I would imagine they'll even say to Mark, what do you want? So I'll be ready to vote for this. I mean, this is the largest project to come through Stoughton in the last 70 years. $5 million around that area in additional tax revenue directly to the residents. It's not coming out of their pockets. I think we could work with somebody that's a project like that, making such a difference in our community. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Town Manager?
Mr. Chairman, may I suggest to Scott and Joe's point that should this board choose to vote this in the affirmative, that it be so with a condition, that it be properly landscaped around it to the satisfaction of the assistant town manager.
It's an ask.
Or you can make it a requirement in your vote.
It's an ask, and we get a sheet. We're supposed to,
Sure.
approve it, but would have been nice. What's fair is fair. Whatever the size of the people, it's the size of the people. Doesn't make them any more important than an 85-year-old business that I had to sit there and watch. And then a statement was made, well, now where are you going to put your snow? Well, you're the ones who told him to put the landscaping all the way up the side where he put his snow. And they saw it and they said something. I kept my mouth shut, but I'm not going to, it wasn't fair. So what's fair is fair.
I think it's a very reasonable.
I'm sure these guys are going to do a great thing.
They will.
I've seen other stuff they've done in another town. So I have no doubt, but I just want to make sure this is now a lease. So I don't want to sign and, just because the sign, you can see the sign, the ground looks like crap.
I think it's a great point.
Any other comments? So as I understand right now, Mr. Carrera, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm going to take that as a motion to approve under the condition that they landscape.
They can give us a landscape plan that fits them. I don't expect them to put a gigantic tree there that's going to grow into the, I'm sure it'll be like daisies and stuff like that that are perennial. So that's fine, a grass area or something, but it's got to be dressed up. We tell everybody else, we dictate to them. It's the same thing.
Sure.
Same thing.
So is that the motion?
Yeah, sure.
You
Just
got
the
it.
way you read it, it's fine.
Okay, perfect. So motion to approve with the condition that the property be landscaped. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, seconded by Mr. McCrisky. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That passes. And again, Mr. Carrera, you'd also asked to pull the town of Stoughton housing production plan.
Yeah, I didn't have a chance to measure this up against the other one. If there's any changes in it or whatever, the snow was a little bit busy. But I did look at a couple of things and on page 11, there's a set of goals. And one of them was goal 1, actually was the best. Preserve Stoughton's suburban character while expanding housing options. So I'm hoping that this doesn't get shelved and we go off the edge of the road and, oh, bring it in, and things change. This town wants to remain that way. And I was wondering if there was anything in here, because I didn't go through it page by page. I skimmed it. And I'm wondering if they're going to deter from taking good commercial and industrial land and just putting an apartment complex on it, because right then and there, we talk about the future. Lou just talked about it. What gets done here, the next group is going to have to deal with it and pay taxes for it. We start taking the land that's industrial and stuff, it's going to hurt the town. Buckley Road is a major show of what property we lost and good tax money. And you got a big project in the middle of an industrial area. That to me is not good planning. You got one of the biggest epicenters headed towards Easton, and we put 300 units right there. It's just, these plans, if we're gonna spend all this time and put an inch of crap out, somebody's gonna use their head and say, we gotta protect the town of Stoughton. So I don't know if something like that's in here. I mean, I hear about partnerships. I'm tired of the partnerships.
Yes, sir.
I had the good fortune of reading the whole thing, for better or for worse. This plan has got every option you can possibly think of. It's a host of ideas, best practices, state law, Has every idea in the book for the town to consider. There's nothing in the plan that binds us to anything. But by adopting the plan, we become eligible for grant money we wouldn't otherwise be eligible for. Having said that, Scott, there's one thing I wanted to really reference. My biggest concern is on page of this whole plan is on the section with regard to our housing inventory. We were once at 11.9 and we're now heading south towards 10%. And if we go below 10%, we lose absolute control over 40B housing projects. Right now, we have absolute control. Any decision made by our planning board with regard to low-income housing cannot be appealed to the state under the 40B statute. If we go below the 10%, and we're 375 units away from that, if we go below the 10%, then 40B projects are proposed that we can reject, that can be appealed to the state and be built in spite of our planning board. So the biggest takeaway I got from this is I'm with you on high rises. I'm with you on that. Although I don't live here, I hear the citizens loud and clear. But our greatest strength against projects that are very concerning to the town and its suburban feel can be beyond our control if we slip below that 10% affordable housing in the town. So that's the most important trigger I took out of here. So what this gives us is a whole host of menus, options, strategic plans, zoning recommendations. They're not recommending any one singular for the town of Stoughton, but it is important that everybody understand this as we make policy that we take from this menu. I think there's consensus that we've got a lot of affordable housing, low-income housing in the town, and that's good, I guess. But I'm hearing that we don't want much more than that. And if that's the case, then we have to preserve our position as north of 10% affordable housing. If it slips below that, I'm being redundant, we lose our authority to not permit those projects because the state will permit them for us under the 40B law. Just a heads up. It gives us a lot to think about. It doesn't give us anything we have to agree to. So I think you'll like that part of it.
May I say something about that?
Yes, Pedruccio.
I think that what the town manager is talking about, there's a piece on page 76 that talks about of the 1,325 subsidized units, only 25% are deed restricted. But they say that that because we have a lot of rental units, we maintain the over 10% category, but we do have a number of units that need to be addressed across from the high school and other places as well. We have the project on Canton Street, the Hebrew Center, that I don't know whether we've been in contact with those people or not, but we were supposed to be discussing with them what their long-term plans were for all the properties in town, because they have many. And the issue that the town manager raised is extremely important, because if we're not able to keep above 10%, then we are in a world of hurt. And that's not, that won't be pleasant for anybody. Again, I think we need to look very carefully at what we're doing. I think we need to be very careful about who we're marketing to and what we're doing. I mean, without getting on my soapbox, saying I don't need to be on my soapbox, we need to decide whether or not we want to have a community that is a place where people want to come to because it has beauty to it and a sense of purpose and community, or whether we want to have a place where people come to escape from fear of being in cities and not have anything to sort of balance that off. It really is important. And that is something that we need to deal with. We seem to be going in 2 or 3 different directions. We're going to be talking about the center of town and what it's going to be like. Are we going to have a roadway where the post office is now? Are we going to have a green space? What are we going to create? We have no vision. We just have a lot of ideas, and we are not settling on anything. I mean, I've been a pain in the neck, I know, talking about long-range planning and talking with people in the town and getting people to get on the same page, whatever that page is. I mean, you can't be wed to a page, you just have to have one. And then people will come or not come based on that, what that page is. But we don't have anything. And so everything is up for grabs. It's absolutely insane. It's $100 million business here. And we have 30,000 people to serve. And we're not providing any support to have that happen. We really are not. If you look at our agendas for the last year or two, there has been nothing on them that relates to the things that are important for the citizens of the town. It's only whether or not we sign papers. And that's an important thing. But it's only part of the important things that need to be done, because people invest thousands and thousands, and in some cases, millions of dollars on a house or a business. And there's no dialogue about that. I'm sorry. Let me go away. I'll be going away soon.
Ms. Roberts.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. I was a member of the Housing Planning Committee, and we did consider a lot of things, such as preserving Stoughton's suburban character, such as promoting strategic reuse of vacant public and private property. And some of the goals go on and on. The starting point was the master plan and the previous housing plan. This just an updated view because the other one was outdated. And if we vote on this tonight, it allows us to be in queue to receive grant funding. Because the last time we reviewed we had the presenter here presenting all the details of this plan. Our economic development director, Pam McCarthy, said starting in the month of March is when the applications are starting to become available and we have to apply. So its deadline is very important to adhere to that. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Any further comments? Okay, so we'll move on with a vote. If there's a motion to adopt this, I would just ask that we include in it authorizing town staff to make clerical, typographical, or editorial, but not substantive changes as may be necessary. I think there's a good number of typos, some dates are wrong, stuff like that. I just don't want to memorialize that.
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Coulter?
Mr. Chairman, just, it's not typographical, or I just want to point out that on page 7, it says that this board voted in approval of this plan on November 4th, 2025. Of course, that didn't happen. So that's more substantive, so I'd just like your permission to have that changed.
Yeah, I think anything that changes like if there's a fact in here that's
Okay.
incorrect.
Thank
But
you.
as far as like recommendations, I think those should stay. But anything like
Agreed.
anything that's where a number is just simply misstated.
Just that one item, and on page 4, it names Janice Bruce as the Director of HR. So both are substantive. I'd just like the board's permission to change those.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments?
I was going to make a comment that I think was addressed, and it is that if there are substantive changes like the town manager mentioned, then those should be changed. Whether there are other typographical errors and other things, mathematical errors, anything at all that's there, we'll take it warts and all and move on. Because if we start to change things, we don't know where those changes are going to be made.
That's all I found, Mr. Gino, and that's all I'm asking for
Right.
those 2 items.
Okay. So is there a motion to adopt this and allow town staff the opportunity to make typographical, editorial, and clerical changes? Is there a motion? Okay.
And I
I'll
will
second
second
it.
that. Okay.
Okay. So the motion is made to adopt the housing production plan with including the changes that town manager Coulter had mentioned at this meeting. There's a second? So that was first, motion was made by Mr. Gito, seconded by Mr. Carrera. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That passes unanimously. It is 8:37. We are at the end of our agenda. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So made.
Motion was made by Mr. Carrera, seconded by Vice Chair Roberts. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? 8:37, motion to adjourn, it passes. Have a good evening, everybody. Meeting adjourned.